welcome to Erica and her mom. So today it's really cold in Central Florida. It was 67 degrees this morning. So what time is it? It's soup time. So I decided I'd make some soup. Now how I make soup is sort of like a roast, a chuck roast, but here's what I do. I save the small pieces, and this has been soaking in water. And I'll rinse that off one more time before I cut it up. So this is it's a chuck roast. That's gonna be the meat, and it's not a big piece. It's just a little piece because there's only two of us. And since I'm gonna be using the Instantpot for this, because I wanna make it kind of quickly and not it's not an all day delicious stew. It's a short time delicious soup. That's kind of what I'm going for. So I have some mushrooms. I have a culantro that I picked outside in my garden. I don't really have a garden that's out in the wild. It's on the pool deck. So I have little pots and a potager, I don't know. A red bell pepper, some minced garlic, because I'm not gonna dice. I'm just gonna make this as easy as possible so that you can learn to make this. Like if you come home from work and you feel like making some soup or something, you don't have to buy it at the grocery store in a can. You don't have to buy it in a grocery store in a big crock. And you don't have to wish you had soup and you did it. So I have dehydrated onion. So I'm not mincing garlic. I'm not chopping onions. I'm not peeling and chopping carrots, so that I have these shredded. I am gonna do this. I do have these mushrooms. I'm not gonna chop them or anything. I'm just gonna put them on the bottom of the Instantpot. The Instantpot is like a pressure cooker, an electric pressure cooker. Instead of putting it on the stove, you just plug it in. And you pull out the basket, you wash the basket. It's super simple. So I'm gonna drop these on the bottom. I'm gonna put some garlic and onions on the bottom, and then I'll put all the spices and carrots on the top. Now these are, because it's a pressure cooker, it's going to cook everything till it's really very, very soft. And what you could do is to stir in something that's a little more al dente at the end if you wanted to, but I don't care. What I'm going for is soup, and I don't need it chunky. If I wanted a chunkier soup, then I would just, make it on the stove in a regular pot. But that's not making an Instapot, instant soup. This is not instant, but it's soup. Anyway, so you can go as organic and healthy as you like. You can go as unhealthy as you like too. No judgment here, unless you're my children. So this is the top of an Instantpot. I don't know if you have one, but we have one. We have a small version. Let me pull that into the screen. This is sort of the smaller version, and I wish that I had a larger one, but this is what we can use in our RV when we go camping or glamping or whatever. We don't do rugged wilderness, but we stay in that instead of hotels, and it's a lot of fun. We stay in campgrounds and parks, state parks, and just fun things like that. So it does have a cord. You do plug it in. I'm gonna leave it on, I can leave it on my island counter, but if you have little ones or rambunctious bigger ones, I would put it on a counter or on your stove set back so that no one could bump it, because these things are still kind of a hazard. I don't know if you have one, but it's kind of neat. If it's letting out steam, it has a little thing on the back that holds it. Steam, it drips in it. Hold on, let me give a moment for my doggies to bark. Okay, so apparently the dog saw something that I couldn't see and I couldn't hear. They're amazing like that. Oh, dogs. Yeah, gotta love them. Anyway, so back to the Instantpot. So we got this Instantpot more for travel than for home, but I do use it at home sometime. I'm not having guests over. I'm not saving soup for days and days. Sometimes I'll make a big batch of soup and I want it to last for days and days. This isn't it. But getting back to the unhealthy eating, you know, you can make rice, you can make all kinds of, everything that you can cook, you can figure out a way to cook it in here. Some people are just really great at it. I honestly don't think I go through that much trouble for oatmeal. So I don't eat oatmeal anyway. So let's get started. Basically, I just have to chop a couple things and assemble. Now, think about it. If you're getting home from work and you're not standing here talking about it and you're actually doing it, you would be done by now and on to the next thing, whether it's homework or laundry or games and cards, whatever. So I'm gonna plug this in. It's kind of on the back, on the side. Just plug this in. I think for me, I love pressure cookers, and I use a stovetop pressure cooker a lot. And the reason I don't use this as much is just it's smaller, but I really like electric appliances. I like my electric frying pan. I like things like that. I have the big, it's made by Instantpot. I'm looking around to see where I have it. But anyway, it's an Instantpot. It's a slow cooker. It's a brazier. It makes all kinds of things. You can make yogurt in it. It can be a warm bath. But the one thing that doesn't do is pressure cook. And what I want to do today with my soup is pressure cook. So anyway, if I seem to be rambling, there's a good reason for that. Remember, I'm going to chop these just in half. Now, some people take the stem off their mushroom, and I don't, especially for sometimes I do, but especially for this, because I'm pressure cooking it, and it's just going to be just fine. It's not going to be woody or, you know, unlovely. It's going to be lovely and delicious. All right. So anyway, for my future generations and my generations that are here now, I'm going to, you know, just do my little chit chat, because you know what? I decided it's good to be you. And so if it's good to be you, it's good to be me. And I hope you guys are saving up memories for all your relatives and your children. And okay, I cut this cilantro up, I diced it, and I'm gonna put half right on top of that, because I want half in the bottom of the meat and half on the top, and I'll save that. I'm gonna cut this next one. So with an Instant Pot, when I've used it, it's fun because you just set it, it gets to the temperature it wants, and then it starts not that it wants, that you want. It gets to that temperature, and then it starts timing. So you can do it any way you like. I'm going to do this for about, I don't know, I could probably get by with 45 minutes, because that's a pretty small amount of roast. But I'm going to do an hour, because I just really, I'm craving that warm, yummy broth and soup. So yeah, I get very snuggly when the temperature drops like it did. For the rest of the country, it may not seem like this is very cold, but to us, we were freezing. So we went to play chess at Starbucks, and so we had to sit outside, and Jules wanted to sit in the sun, so we found a place to sit in the sun, and then a diesel truck pulled up, and all we could smell was his diesel. He was idling. Okay, number one, it was a gigantic, I think it could have been a Ford. But anyway, it was a really big truck with, you know, the extended cab. So two rows of seats in it. It's huge. And it pulls up right to the edge of where we were sitting. And it's got its diesel muffler. It's literally this big, because I looked at it. And then it idled there. He went inside and he got Chipotle, and the truck was just idling there in a handicap spot, and he wasn't handicapped. It's like, you are just breaking all the rules. But anyway, so you know, we just moved. We moved to another spot. We didn't smell it anymore. We were having a pretty good time. So half of that's gonna go on the bottom, and I'm gonna put the other half on top. And then I get my garlic. All right. So that's probably a teaspoon ish. Nice and potent. I don't usually use minced garlic, but I have been doing it probably since, since the fall feasts have started. Because there's just a lot of cooking going on this time of year. And it's a faster way to mince garlic. Anyway, all right, okay, so I have about a cup full of my dehydrated onion. I'm gonna throw it in there. The reason I'm throwing it in the bottom, which it might be better on top, is I'm gonna pour some of this chicken stock on top, and then it will rinse it off anyway. So, alrighty, let me get to the meat. So anyway, we went out and Jules beat me mercilessly, or unmercifully. Yeah, either one of those. Whichever one is a word, I'll take it. All right, so I'm going to just chop this in chunks, cut this in chunks, and I'm going to put it, I'm not gonna brown it or braise it or anything like that. I'm just throwing it right in, and then we're gonna cook it. And if you get soup and you think it's, wow, this is just way too soupy, you can just simmer it on the stove and reduce that, and wow, it gets so much better. That's where your wonderful flavors come in, because now you're making a reduction. A reduction of your soups and sauces. So here we go. Now we're getting here. This is a porcelain knife. I love this porcelain knife better than any other knife I have. I think it's just sharp and the blade is thin. So if you've never used one of these, I highly recommend it. If you need to buy a knife. Okay, so we have these ridiculously expensive knives, and this is so much better. This is like $20, but that one was like $150 for one knife. And this is just so much better, I tell you. You can't beat it. It's even got just, I don't know if you can see that. There's like a little ding in the knife, and that actually helps it cut a little bit of a serrated blade. So I can cut onions with this, and tomatoes with this, and this meat with this, and this meat has a lot of grain to it. But anyway, you can just cut it. But I just want to give a shout out to that. So we like our Instantpot, we like this knife. I like this chopping board. This is a Cutco chopping board, and I have the larger ones, but I tend to use smaller ones anyway, so I might as well just stick with that. And I just throw them in the dishwasher, and the dishwasher does the work. Okay, let's rinse some of this yucco off my hands, and then we'll do some spices, and we will seal this thing up. All right, so I use chicken stock mostly. If I didn't have it, water would be just fine. And I think you'd do great with water. You could use, of course, you could use vegetable stock, you could use beef stock, you could use water with some kind of bouillon in it. Any of those things would help. The reason I use a stock is just one more layer of flavor. So we have the bell pepper and cilantro, the garlic, the onions, and now I'm gonna put quite a bit of salt because it's just gonna take a lot. Some people salt at the end of their meal or at the end of cooking. I don't do that. I like the salt to cook right in. I like what it does, a little pepper, because I always use pepper with beef. And I'm going to use some paprika. And I guess this does a tiny bit of heat, and that also gives it a beautiful ruby color. So we're gonna put that in there. And now our little carrot sticks, our shreds, what do they call this? Shredded carrots. So when I make chicken soup, and I do that a lot, I make a lot of chicken soup, I keep the shredded carrots on hand because they give it flavor. I don't have to chop them, and they look so pretty. Oh my gosh, they're beautiful, guys. All right, here goes our chicken stock, and I may need to get more of this because this is a leftover from something else that I made. Yep, that's not enough. So let me get a new one. Hang on. Okay, we have another box of our chicken stock. We have all our goodies here. We're gonna put this in. Now there is, if you look in your pot, and maybe I'll show you that, there's a max that you can fill this to. I'm not gonna go quite to the max, but let me show you what this looks like. Hang on. All right, so here we have the upper view. Let me turn so you can see. Sorry about that, I hope you don't get sick. All right, right over here, it says max, and we're at one line under max, and there's our carrots are a little piled up. All right, so all of that is ready to go. Now, one thing I want to tell you, when you, and I have my my little spoon rest right here. And that's gonna stay here the whole time. All right, so when you have this going and you're making a soup, I just want to let you know that I don't have no idea if I'm in the frame or not. Okay, back to work. All right, I just wanna let you know that you can do all kinds of wonderful things with this right now. If you had chunks of chicken, like maybe 4 or 5 chicken thighs in here, you could put vegetables in there just like I did, and you could put like a tiki masala sauce or a butter chicken sauce or a jarred sauce in with this. Just reduce your water a little bit and add that. You know, don't go above that line because you're gonna have trouble. That's one thing to do. You can put like a shawarma marinade for beef or chicken in here. You can put all kinds of Chinese flavors in here. You can put Mexican flavors in here. Everything, almost everything you cook can go whatever direction you want it to. You can make it hot and spicy. You could put chili flavors in here, and at the end just stir in some beans, you know, canned beans or something. All of that would be just great. All right, let's get the top one here. All right, do you hear that little noise? It's like doo-doo-doo. Say I'm happy. Now on top here, there's a button. Let me turn you around. And if you turn it one way, you're releasing the steam. You turn it the other way, you're not. So make sure you have that going the right way. When the pressure is up, there's a little button here that'll pop up, just like if you're using a pressure cooker. Or if you have a really old pressure cooker, that little thing will go dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Anyway, that keeps your steam in, and that lets you know it's sealed. Do not open it unless you release the steam at that point. So then we come over here, and see what we want to do. So we want to, here's a slow cook. We don't want to do that. And then there's rice, porridge, steam, soup and broth, and meat and stew, and bean and chili, saute, pressure cook right here. That's what we want to do. Now it says 20 minutes, but I want to do more than 20 minutes. So I'm gonna push this button over here. Da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, there's 45. Let's do 50. I would do an hour and 10 on the stove. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. I did that, and it's on keep warm. Keep warm is, now it's on. So, you know, you don't set it and then push a start. So that's kind of different than a microwave. You just press it, you find the option you want, how much time you want, and let it go. So that's it. And in 45 minutes, we're gonna have soup. All right, the other thing I wanted to talk about is this lovely thing. I don't know if you have contact lenses, but look how beautiful these contact lens holder is. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It has this thing that it's like a little tweezer, so you can grab it right out of your eye. And this is, it's like a travel kit. And this is liquid. So you would fill this with liquid to put in your little iPods there. iPods, and then this is a plunger. So you can stick this and put it in your eye. And the reason I'm talking about this is I'm going through getting contact lenses again. I did have them about 10 years ago. But so now I'm doing it again. I'm tired of wearing glasses all the time, even though I don't mind wearing glasses. And but I was told that little plunger thing is really for hard contacts, and that makes sense. It like sticks on, you put it on your eye, you squeeze it, and that lets the pressure off and you take it out. So if you're using those pretty color changing things, maybe that would work for you, but this is so neat. It just sticks in my purse. So anyway, I went to the ophthalmologist and I got a set of contacts ordered, and they came in, and I picked them up and I took them home and I put them in my eye, and it was like torture. It was like the worst thing ever. They just were too big for my eye, and it was a struggle to get them in. And then when I got them in, they would put it's like they were grabbing my eye. It was awful, and I couldn't see through them. And I went today to have my follow-up appointment with those, and I had them in, and the lady put up, you know, the eye chart where you're supposed to decide what your vision test skills are. And mine were very bad because it looked like a foreign language. It did not look like English with those contacts in. That was the craziest thing. I could see it, but it didn't look like letters that I recognized. Anyway, she was very patient and very wonderful at Dr. Fishman's office. And she did a new eye test, gave me a new set of contact lenses, which I have on right now. They are a different brand and a lot closer to my prescription, but not exactly. And I want bifocals in my prescription. And I have astigmatism. So, and they have to be weighted so that they fall down. When they fall down, the portion where you're going to be seeing, like you're reading something small for your bifocal vision, so it has to be weighted. And then it has to be a funny shape because my eyes are a funny shape. And then I have to be able to see distance too, because I'm far and nearsighted. So yeah, it's like, I got all the goodies with my eyes. Anyway, so these contacts that I'm wearing feel so good. And the reason I put these on, my glasses back on while I'm wearing them, is these are only single vision contacts. And then I have my bifocals so I can see, but I'm so much happier with these. So that's about it as far as, oh, guess what? My birthday comes on Friday. So Erica has a treat planned. And so we are going to do our favorite Copacabana, I think. And I'm looking for a recipe because I want to make a great new recipe for a birthday cake. I might make something I've already made. So anyway, if you see this and you have a great recipe, tell me quickly, leave a comment below so that I can make that birthday cake this week. That would be so much fun. I'll take it to Copa. You'll see it on on a video. Maybe not our next video, but a video. Anyway, so that's all for today until the soup is ready. And then I'll give you a shot at what it looks like in the bowl. But thanks, guys. And I hope you make soup at night because it's cold and we need soup. So hang on. So you can tell we're in the right position when this is down. Whoops. This is down. And the pressure builds up. And this is heating. You can feel that's hot. And this thing just pops up because it was down in that hole. And now it's up. So now if we come around here to the front, it says on. But it's, thank you, Bob. As soon as that pressure gets to a certain level, it's going to start timing. And remember, we put that on 45 minutes. So we're getting close to 45 minutes starting. And then at the end, we'll have soup. Now the Instant Pot has gone through the cycle. And now you can see there's an L004. That means it's been on warm, on low, for 4 minutes, and it's time to release the pressure. So I'm going to just cancel, turns it off, you can see that. And then here, so this is going to spray up just a ton. You can leave it and just let it go back to cool, or you can get a cloth, which I'm going to demonstrate. We gotta throw this over. All right, so I have this over. I find the little thing and I'm just gonna see how that, the reason I'm putting the towel in it, I don't want it to spray, you know, into the ceiling fan, onto the ceiling and all over. So, and I don't, it's just awful. Anyway, so I'm just gonna do this. I'm going to stay away from it, and the steam is just going to come out. All right, don't worry, the towel's not burning up, it's just steam. All right, so it doesn't take too long, but you can see with that amount of steam, you just don't want it. And I learned to do this in the RV because I don't want that much steam in the RV, in closed spaces. Our RV is a van. So anyway, all right, so let me take this off. Just gonna slide it right off. See how damp and moist everything is? And this towel is very hot, so just wipe this. But what we have to look at is over here, this button. We're waiting for this button to drop. That means we still had a little steam. All right, that's completely open. And there it goes. All right, so now we can open up the pot. Just turn it and lift it. Kind of let it be away from you when you're lifting. And look at that. There's our beef soup. So let me switch hands here so I can stir, and you can see what that's going to look like. So see, we have a nice beef soup and lots of broth because that's what I wanted. So there's the stew meat, the bell peppers and the carrots, the onions, and this smells really wonderful. It has the cilantro flavor in it. So now we just dip this out and we will have just a wonderful bowl of soup for dinner. Okay, well thanks guys for watching, and we will see you back on another episode of whatever we're doing, whether it's cooking, whether it's going somewhere, whether it's doing something. But just thank you for watching with us. Let me get a bowl. Don't mind my feet there. Okay, here we are. Get a bowl. Put it right there. And I just want to show you what the soup looks like. So, all right. Isn't that beautiful? And see, it has that little bit of an amber color. Not too red from the paprika we put in, but just enough to give it a beautiful color. There we are, and all that broth. It just looks so good. It smells so good. And so that's our dinner. And thanks for watching. And thank you for just being a part of our daily lives here. And hold on one second. Okay, so I want to thank you for watching and supporting our channel and helping us grow our channel. And be great if you subscribed and liked, and please leave a message and let me know what your favorite cake is. So maybe I'll try that, and enjoy some soup. And just remember, Pika loves you.